So you're welcome to another section of the ATU Library tutorial series. And this tutorial basically is going to focus on how you can submit your project work when it comes to the institutional repository. That is submitting your project work onto ATU Info Hub or ATU Institutional Repository. Okay, so as you can see, the heading, that is Accra Tech University HND and BTech project work submission procedure. So I'm going to take you through the flow once again. There's an updated version of the previous one. And this tutorial will also guide you to know the process when it comes to logging in and submitting your project work under your supervisor when it comes to the repository. Okay, so you are done with your project work. That's all. Procedure begins. You get it? So you're supposed to submit your project work soft copy to Turnitin for plagiarism check. So you are supposed to check whether your similarity index or the percentage is less than or equal to 40. That is for HND and the tech students. Okay. So if you pass your similarity index, or if you check and your percentage is less than or equal to 40, it means that you are supposed to pick a form that is a project work form from the library so that you submit it to your supervisor for your supervisor to append his or her signature, confirming that he has gone through your reports or he has seen your Turnitin similarity index, and also is giving you the go-ahead. That is, your supervisor is giving you the go-ahead to now proceed to come to the library to do the final Turnitin endorsement and also submission onto the IR. That is the institutional repository. So your supervisor must endorse the project approval form after you've gotten the less than or equal to 40 similarity index. Should in case you don't meet the target, it means that you are supposed to paraphrase your work. Okay, so after the signature, student visit the university library for the final Turnitin endorsement. So we have to check whether your supervisor really signed the project approval form before we go ahead and endorse. And we endorsing your Turnitin report. It means that we are going to check your reports once again. That is, we have the administrative side of all the reports. So whatever you've checked, we see it, the Turnitin team at the library. Okay, so we are going to endorse the final Turnitin similarity index reports. The library will endorse it finally after your supervisor endorses the project work approval form. Now, once we endorse your final Turnitin form, your final Turnitin similarity index, once we endorse it, at that moment, we are supposed to map you onto the IR for you to submit your project work. So once you are done with this particular stage, the library maps you or connects to the institutional repository for submission. So you are supposed to get a final endorsement on your Turnitin similarity index report. So once you get that, then automatically you qualify to submit your work onto the institutional repository. But you need to be mapped. Okay. So if you are not mapped, you cannot submit. You can create an account on the institutional repository, but you need to be mapped to your respective supervisor before you can submit a project work under your supervisor. So after mapping you, you are supposed to log into the IR and submit your project work under your supervisor's name. It means that you are supposed to create an account. Okay, you are supposed to create an account, which this tutorial is going to cover that, how you can create an account on the IR. Okay, all right, sure. So what we have over here, so right from you creating the account and you submitting your project work, it means that so student logs into the IR and submits under supervisor's name. After submission, what we have over here is a supervisor will log in, will log into the IR and validate. So this particular section is telling you that the moment you submit your work, Yes, the moment you submit your work to the IR, it moves to your supervisor. That is the second stage. Now, your supervisor is to check whether, yeah, so this work was actually supervised by me. Yes, I asked you to do some corrections. Everything is intact. Yes, and it's like, it's your supervisor who is going to push you to the next stage for the system to check whether the formatting guidelines were being followed. So if you submit your work, your supervisor will do a check by accepting or what, rejecting. So your supervisor will check the work that is being submitted under him, and will just hit the accept is everything is okay for the system to start checking the project work formatting what guidelines. Should in case the system rejects your work, that it means that you are supposed to do something. You can contact your supervisor. Okay. All right. So we have supervisor logs into the IR and validate. That is validate the work that you have submitted. If it's no, it means that you are supposed to log in again and submit your work. But every rejection comes with what? A reason. So if your supervisor rejects your work, there'll be a reason for what rejection. Now, if your work is even accepted, it means that yes, accepted by supervisor. So system checks the format of project work formatting. That's what we see over here. So system checks format of project work following acceptance by supervisor. So once your work is being approved by your supervisor, the system starts checking the project work formatting guidelines. Now, this process is being facilitated or supervised by what? Drift. Okay. All right. Now, once the formatting is being checked by the system, we ask ourselves, did you get it accurate? So we have project work format approved. No. Student notified via email. Reasons for rejection stated. Student correct all errors and resubmit. Now, if your work is approved, that is your work really met the criteria, that is the approved formatting guidelines, we have the yes. It means that student receives archiving confirmation via email. Supervisor is copied and verification available in the IR as well. So the moment your project work is being approved, the same student mail that you used to log in, you see, the same student mail that you used to log in, the system will send you a mail that, hey, your work has been approved. When your work is being rejected, you also see what a mail in that same mail that you used to log in. So student receives archiving confirmation via email. It means that your work has now been approved on the repository. Now, supervisor also gets to know that, yes, your work has been pushed onto the repository. When your supervisor logs in and click his name, he will see the project works submitted under his name. All right. And also when Drift library or the binary section clicks on all project work submitted on the repository, we will see that your work is being archived onto the repository. Now, the binding unit through Drift also receives a copy of what mail. Fine. All right. So we have this over here. Okay. So now we are saying that the moment you receive the mail, student complete all procedures related to binding. So that is, we have the printing and the payment. Okay. Yes. So once you have your work archived on the repository, it means that you are supposed to proceed to the binary. Now, before you go for your printing, you are supposed to come to the library so that we give you an endorsement, or we stamp your form for you, for the binary people to know that, yes, your work is truly archived onto the repository. Okay, sure. Now, you are supposed to do that before you move to the binding section for your printing. Okay, so once we are done, we have student returns hard copy of bounded project work for final clearance by the university library, and procedure ends. So we have system checks the project work formatting in the IR. Work is archived into the IR. after successful checks, once archived into the IR, the student sees it via mail alert. Supervisors and binding units through drips will also see that your work has been pushed onto the IR. The student then proceeds to the binding unit for hard cover. Once the binding of project work is done, the student returns to the library with the binded work so that the university library can clear the students. Okay, so I'm just going to take you through how you can create an account. I'm going to take you through how you can create an account on the repository. Okay, sure. So we have visit the school's website. So Google. So let's say atu.edu. Okay, just type ATU. So you are visiting the school's website. Okay, all right. Now you click on library. Okay, so after clicking on library, you are supposed to click on ATU Info Hub. Okay, all right. So you don't have an account, you just go ahead and click on register. Okay, so let me just use this particular mail. Okay, so I have machine. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so let me use this mail. Okay, so I have this mail over here. So you are supposed to use your student mail rather. All right, so I click on register. All right, so an email has been sent to fashioneternity2023@gmail.com containing a special URL and further instructions. All right, so I just have to check my mail. I'm supposed to receive an information. So you see ATU print, that is this space account registration. You click on that. All right, so you are supposed to click on this particular link. All right, so you type your name. So your full name, let's say. So your telephone number, well, it's optional. It's not compulsory, but you have to create your password. All right, then you click complete registration. Okay. All right, so once you are done, automatically you realize that you are being logged in. Okay, so you realize that, okay, I am logged in now. Then I can also be logged out. So the moment you are done creating your password, it means that you are logged in. All right, now the next thing is for you to start your submission process. Okay, so I'm just going to take you through how you can do your submission. Okay, all right. So right, I'm logged in. And once you are logged in, go ahead and click TD/project work. You can only submit your work over here after you have been mapped by the library. Okay, so we have, once you logged in, you click TD/project work. So you select the department. So we have some departments over here: accountancy, applied mathematics, computer science, civil engineering. So every department is here. So you are supposed to check and select the department that you are supposed to submit your project work under. Okay, all right. So you realize that every department has gotten lecturers Under it, okay, so you click a particular department, you search for your lecturer. So we have lecturers over here. That is for medical laboratory technology. Okay, so for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use a department of testing just for demonstrating. So we are not going to select any department over here. So department of testing will be used throughout. So I'll click on department of testing. Now I have the lecturer's name over here. So we are presuming that this is the lecturer's name. All right, so you go ahead and click on your supervisor's name. So assuming that this particular lecturer supervised my work, it means that I'm supposed to go ahead and click his name. Now, you are going to see project work submission H&D, and you're also going to see project work submission what? B-Tech. Right. Now, if you're an H&D student, it means that you are supposed to click on this. If you're a B-Tech student, you click on the B-Tech link. Because the library is going to map you, there's no way you'll be submitting to H&D if you're not given access to it. All right. So once you are an H&D student and you've been marked by the library, you are supposed to go ahead and click on project work submission H&D. Now you see this link, submit a new item to this collection. Submit a new item to this what? Collection. Okay. So we go ahead and we click on that. Now you are supposed to provide your names. That is, if it's a group work, you are supposed to provide all the names over here. You are not supposed to add anything like index numbers. You provide the title, nothing to be pushed over here or typed over here. The dates you provide, ignore publisher, citation, ignore all these things. When you come to the type, you are supposed to click on what? Thesis. You select the language and you move on. That is what? English. So we are going to select a particular document. We are going to use, so we are going to select this. So I have a folder over here that is practicals. And this is the work itself. And this is the Turnitin report. So you are supposed to submit the Turnitin report together with the soft copy of your what? Project work. Okay. All right. So let me go back to make it easier. You open the Word file. So this is the Word file. I'm going to use this. All right. So let's say this is the title of my thesis. I push it over here. So I open my Word file again. That is my name over here. All right. So pasted. So we have the last name, then we have the first name or other names over here. So I cut this. This is over here. So should in case that you are 4 in a group, it means that you are supposed to click on add so that you'll be able to push the next or the other names over here. Now the title, you don't type anything over here. So, okay, so year 2023, this is required. So September, the day, let's say 7th. Nothing over here, no citation, serial number, nothing. All right, so the type, we click on thesis, we select English, move to next. Now you're not supposed to type anything over here. No keywords, no abstract, nothing, sponsors, description, nothing. You're supposed to skip this particular stage. Now you click on next. This stage, you are supposed to upload your files, and you are supposed to upload 2 files. You are supposed to upload what? 2 files. One is the Word file. Okay, so the Word file. So I have this, and the other one will be your Turnitin what? Report. This is the Turnitin report of the student. So you click on this. So we have this. So we have uploaded the file. This is the file. So we have upload file and add another. You get it? So you're not supposed to click on choose file. If you choose file, whatever you upload will override this. So we have upload file and add another. So we click on this. So we already have this file over here. That is the Word file. Now we click on choose file. We select the Turnitin, the one that we generated, the one that was endorsed by the library. That's what you are going to what? Upload. That is what you are going to what? Upload. Okay. All right. So we have this. You click on it. Now we have the Word file over here together with the what? The Turnitin what? Report. That's what we have over here. All right. Now, once you are done, you click on next. Okay, so when you come to this side, that is the review what section. This particular page is telling you that, okay, so this is what you entered as the authors, the title, date, type, language. Did you miss anything? It's a question. Should in case that you miss anything, it means that you are supposed to click on correct one of these. If you think everything is okay, then there wouldn't be any need to go back and correct. So this section is just trying to tell you that check whatever you've entered or the file that you have uploaded. Should in case there is one or two things to be corrected, you go back. You realize that the second stage, we did not type anything, so we don't have any information over here. Now, our final or the last but one stage, what we have over here, we uploaded the Word document and also the Turnitin what? Report. All right, should in case that you don't have the Turnitin report, you can click on correct one of these. It sends you back so that you'll be able to upload your Turnitin what? Report. If you don't have your Turnitin report in there, the system will not proceed to check your formatting. That is the case. So you are supposed to upload the endorsed Turnitin reports onto the what? Repository. All right. Now, when you are done with everything, after checking these things and everything seems okay, you move to what's next. Now, this is the final stage. The final stage, item submission. You are supposed to confirm this by checking the box. It means that whatever information that you have submitted under the repository, you take full responsibility of that. So you are supposed to check this. And now you click on complete submission. Complete submission. So we are done. We are done with our submission. And once you are done with your submission, you can check. You realize that, okay, you can check the flow where your work, whether where your work has gotten to. So let's say, has it been approved? You see all these things, okay? All right, so once you submit your work, as I said earlier on, it heads back to your supervisor. So your supervisor will check your work for the last time, confirming that whatever he asks you or she asks you to do has been done. So your supervisor can accept it on the platform or reject it after going through your work. Now you realize that I'm going to open another section for you. Let's say the supervisor just logs in. Now look at this. You realize that the work that we submitted, that's who you are. We just submitted this particular work. It is over here. So your supervisor is just going to either accept or reject. This section is not for you. So you wouldn't see it. And therefore, we are not going to cover this tutorial, the accept and reject over here, but just to let you know that once you submit your work, the next step, or it hits your supervisor, the one that you submitted your project work under, he sees that your work has been submitted, and he is supposed to push your work for the system to start the formatting or the checks. Okay, all right, so they will handle that aspect, but I just want to show you that the work that we submitted has successfully hit that particular supervisor's account for him to check and forward it for formatting. All right, now, so you want to check whether your work successfully has been pushed or whether your work was successfully uploaded onto the institutional repository. So you can just go ahead and click on submissions. Click on submissions. When you log in, click on submissions. All right. So these are the works that I have submitted. You realize that we just submitted the last one. We have that's who you are and awaiting reviewers' attention. So you can trace the flow of your work over here. Okay. All right. So if your work is being rejected by your supervisor, you receive a confirmation mail. Now, if your work is being approved, and when you click on submission, you also see it, even though you are going to get an archiving confirmation mail. Now, when you log in and you click on submissions, you come to this section, you realize that we have archived submissions. These are your complete submissions which have been accepted into DSpace. So when your supervisor pushes your work to the next stage and the system starts checking for the project work formatting guidelines and it gets approval, you see it over here. And you also get a notification in your mail. This is very simple, right? Sure. So you are supposed to create an account, and I've taken you through that. After creating an account, you are supposed to log in. And when you log in, you are supposed to click on TZ/project work. You search for the department that you belong to. You click on the department's name. Now you are supposed to search for your supervisor's name. You click on your supervisor's name, and you are supposed to submit under what you've been mapped to by the university library. If you are submitting to BTech or you are submitting to HND. All right. Okay, so this is just a short tutorial, and we expect that should in case you have any questions, you can just come over to the library, and we are going to take you through. If you have any problem, we will show you what you are supposed to do, but make sure that you have an account. Make sure that you have an account. And one thing that you have to notice is that the project work, we have some individuals doing the work, and we also have groups also doing the work. So if you're in a group, you're expected to nominate only one person to do the submission on the repository. Just only one person. But if you are an individual doing the work, it means that you are supposed to come yourself. You show us the form that is being endorsed by your supervisor. We also endorse the final 1018 reports, and we map you onto the repository. But a group nominates only one person. All right, so thank you once again for watching this tutorial from the Accra Technical University Library. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we are always ready to deliver, give you every information that you need to help you complete your project work. All right, thank you. Bye.